Well, now to our Health Matters segment. This is such an important topic. We're so glad we could bring it. The food and beverage industry is a world of passion, creativity, great food and community. But behind the scenes, many workers are quietly struggling. Long hours, high pressure, little access to mental health care have left countless chefs and restaurant staff burned out and overwhelmed. And that's why we're so honored to have a number of them here to talk about it. Chef Gabe Medina, who is right here, knows this experience firsthand. He's opening up about his own mental health journey and how reaching out for help through Behind You, a program from Southern Smoke, changed his life. Also with Gabe, we have honest conversation with Dr. John Vincent, director of the Center for Forensic Psychology, and Kat Bill at the top right there. She is Chief Mission Officer at Southern Smoke. Together they talk about the toll on the industry and what it's doing and access to things that can help all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Gabe, it is, I know it's so difficult sometimes. You are in the midst of the kitchen making magic and then the pressure comes. Thank you for being honest about this. What was your experience like just being in the midst of all of this and then realizing there was a problem and you needed your own help? Well,
it comes down to a lot of issues that we all struggle with. There's a lot of substance abuse in the industry. There's a lot of, depression, sadness. There's quite a bit of emotions, and going through this whole process of therapy, it's actually helped me navigate some of my own personal problems, as well as stuff that, happen at home, happen at work. And it's been a very enlightening process and learning so much about myself, and also being able to use those as tools to kind of help me not only teach myself, but other people around me, which has been really great.
And it's very brave for you to even come forward, because a lot of people don't want to talk about the struggles. You always think the chef is like in the midst of everything, making creations and being brilliant, but at the same time, you're still human. And doctor, that's what a lot of people go through.
Precisely.
That people, and they do it and they suffer in silence.
Absolutely, very common.
Why is that happening more often?
Well, I think, we still live in a world where the idea of having a mental health issue is something like a bad thing, like it means something about you that's wrong, which I think is absolutely crazy. That is a crazy idea.
Yes.
I think all of us struggle, all of us have challenges, and the good news is that we as a profession of psychology have a lot of tools that are extremely effective in helping people cope with, day-to-day stress, some of the challenges of anxiety and depression, and the sort of things that Gabe is talking about.
What are some of the tools that are out there that people can use? And then I'm gonna get to Kat, because I know she's got some great ideas too, because her organization is making a difference. So tell us some of the tools.
Sure. Well, a lot of what we talk about with the clients that we serve are helping them manage stress. As I have come to learn supervising many of these clients, the food and beverage industry is phenomenally stressful. I had no idea kind of the day-to-day pressure that these folks deal with day in and day out. That in addition to all the challenges that just we as human beings have. So I think part of what we are trying to do in our program here is to help people learn how to navigate those in a way that's more helpful to them, and to learn some tools to, again, manage stress, manage their anxiety. Hopefully if there's depression that's sort of crept in, to help manage those sorts of things. Obviously, Gabe alluded to substance problems. That's unfortunately a common bad solution to a problem, and we try to help people learn how to sort of either reduce or stop their use of substances altogether. So it's really just a composite approach to all the things we could do to help people.
And speaking of help, Kat, you have an incredible organization that is doing just that. Tell us, when Gabe came to you and needed the help, what is it that your organization provides? And I'm going to give you a pat on your back for that. What do you provide that is also making a big difference?
So through our Behind You program, we offer no-cost counseling to food and beverage workers who meet our eligibility, and all that information can be found on our website. What we try to do is remove barriers. So we make it very easy to reach out for help. It's confidential. It's dedicated time that you get to speak to someone that doesn't really exist in this industry. So we also provide telehealth to make it easier. If someone's working a double, they can step out, they can go to their car, they can take advantage of this counseling program, because they don't have to deal with even the transportation of getting to the appointment. And the fact that it's no cost, in 2024, 25% of our clients had never attended therapy before. So we're really opening the door to allow people to receive care that they might not have access to otherwise.
And I'm glad you bring that up, because I know a lot of times anyone trying to reach out for help is also afraid of, if you say something, you could lose your job. And that's a big fear, and I know you probably had to deal with that, right?
Yeah, there was quite a lot of that. And it comes down to that traditional mentality of going in, get your job done, yes, chef, and that's it. it's a double-edged sword. So what happens is that people end up not asking for help, not seeking help, thinking they can handle everything on their own. And that was a lot of kitchen culture before. This past probably decade or so, a lot more kitchen cultures have encouraged for asking for hands,
Right.
asking for help. And I'm so thankful that I was able to reach out to James Beard. I mean, Southern Smoke. Sorry,
That's
no.
okay, it's okay.
Southern Smoke.
You're respect.
Southern Smoke
Good
Southern Smoke.
company to be in.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Southern Smoke Foundation,
Yeah.
and they've been super fantastic with me, Katerina, Chris Shepard,
Yes.
fantastic individual, and
Now,
Dr.
I
John
was
here is
stopping for a
awesome.
second because you brought up something about needing the help. We have some statistics that we wanted to show you real quick about the number of people that have to deal with this, alarming ones. 4 out of 5 food service workers report feeling burned out. Hospitality ranks among the top 3 industries for substance use and mental health struggles. Long hours, as you mentioned, low wages, lack of insurance are key reasons and stressors, and many workers feel that the stigma of losing their jobs and speaking out of mental health. And I know our time is almost up here, but I want to thank you first for coming forward, Gabe. I want to thank you, Doctor, for letting people
Thank
know
you.
about this. Having an incredible program, Kat,
Thank you.
that is changing lives. We're going to have the link to your program
Yes.
on our website, cw39.com. Right there at the bottom of your screen, southernsmoke.org/mental, then health, right? -health. Okay, use it, everyone. Do not be afraid to ask for help. It has changed your life, right?
Absolutely.
And it's going to change your lives too. Thank you so much for sharing us with us.
Thank you.
Mental health is not a bad thing. It is just getting help. Great job.
Thanks,
More to
Sharon.
come in just 3 minutes. You're welcome.
Thank you.